day.
What was going on? Like, did you have a big project or something?
Yeah, big project, working on different things, and it's just tired. I'm just glad it's over though. I'm finished with it.
You've been there like all day. I thought you were coming home early today.
Well, that was my plan, but
What happened?
I was busy with work. You had something else going on?
I thought we were supposed to go do something together as soon as you got off, and I've been kind of waiting.
Well, it's still early to go and still do something, but I was working. And like I was hanging out, doing whatever.
But you said you were going to be home early today.
I know what I said, but work happened. We had to get it taking place. I had to take care of it.
You could have at least called and said, hey, I'm going to be later or whatever, and then I would have known, but...
Well, you knew I was at work. I wasn't doing anything else. So where else would I be? You could have just looked, or you could have called me.
But you still said you were going to be here early.
I did. We have plans. Plans change.
It's okay. It's fine.
But it's really not fine.
It's fine.
Is it really fine? I don't even feel like hanging out now.
Me either.
This is not how it's done.
But it happens that way a lot, doesn't
Absolutely. It? I'm James Lee.
And I'm Tasha Lee.
And we are Elevate Marriages.
Yes.
So we're just kind of giving a little insight
and yes, he is still my boo.
Oh, yeah. We wanted to kind of give a little insight about how sometimes just the mere fact that somebody wants to spend more time with another person, it can come across as an argument almost.
Right.
Rather than just saying, hey, babe, we have plans. I was looking forward to spending some time with you and blah, blah, blah. And on the flip side of that, me as a husband being considerate enough that if I am going to be working late, that I can let her know. Give her a heads up, because the expectation is that I was supposed to be home early. And if that's not going to happen, then we need to reset those expectations. Yeah. So this is truly, really about how to fight right.
And I think a lot of times too, we don't really say exactly what we're thinking. Right. We are on the defensive already because, we didn't have it the way we thought it was going to be. The expectation wasn't met.
Absolutely.
Right. Expectation wasn't met. So then we get all upset about it. And instead of just saying, I really missed you today, or I couldn't wait for you to get home, and I was really looking forward to us spending time together, and that whole thing, and making it a little sweeter, I think we jump right into the you didn't do what you're supposed to do, or you didn't do it the right way, and then that becomes more than it needs to be, and you miss out, like we were just talking about, on an opportunity to spend some time together.
Right, because ideally, of course, you both have the common goal, which is, in this particular instance, spending time together. But if neither one of you can kind of get out of your own way and admit, okay, yeah, I should have called you. It got a little busy, got a little bit hectic, and I lost track of time. Or on the flip side of it, I was just looking forward to spending time with you. Communicating.
Or calling, because I easily could have called and be like, hey, I'm gonna be much longer. And then you would have had an idea already that he wasn't gonna be home at the time you expected. So that wouldn't have been that big of a deal.
Absolutely. You just can't lose focus on the fact that you're a team. If you remember, bottom line, that you're on the same team, you're not fighting against an enemy, then you can all kind of bring it back together. Don't throw little sharp jabs and little snide comments that can happen a lot of the times when you're fighting, because no one knows your pain points like your loved one. No one can push those buttons like the one that you love. They can just say something and it's like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing out here. All right.
Yes, I think that happens a lot. And then you're already, what's that saying people always say? Hurt people hurt people,
yes.
Right? So you hurt, not really hurt. I guess you are you upset. So it's like, oh, you're going to say whatever to get back at him so he can be upset too. And why? Why do you want both of you to be upset? If I want to share anything with him, it is not my pain and frustration, right? Yeah. But we do that. That does happen. And so understanding how that's not benefiting anything. Donald was saying the other day how he says in his relationship, is this productive?
Right.
Flat out, is it productive?
Absolutely.
And that is so smart.
It's a smart question to ask. Absolutely.
Exactly. Is what we're talking about, is this argument, is it really being productive?
Is this drawing us closer together or pushing us further apart?
And what's the goal? We want
Right.
to be closer together. No wedges, right? So if that's the case, then that's what we need to really talk about. That's what we really need to do so that we can draw closer together and get beyond this, which what is usually, or at least in this case, it was something really petty and small.
Right. And typically it is something petty. And that's not to say you won't have those moments in your relationship where it may be something big. But the idea is that you're able to actively listen to whoever the other person might be. If she's saying something, don't be so ready to pounce and respond so quickly. Take some time to take it in, to hear what she has to say. And then a good way to turn it around and say, listen, what I heard you say was, and then that way you can kind of at least allow them to know that you're listening to what they're saying. Mm-hmm. Don't try to justify your actions if it's something that's contrary to what maybe the other person feels or how they believe, because really perception is reality. So whether you meant something a certain way, it really doesn't matter. If it came across that way, then you need to be willing and able to ask for forgiveness for it, and maybe even reword it so that way your meaning is not lost, and then the actual message of what you mean can get across to the other person.
I totally agree with that. And I think how you argue or how you fight when it's something small, like similar to what we did in the very beginning, it can roll over to when it's something big. You know, if you fight fair when it's something really small, when it's really something serious like finances or kids or
Right.
in-laws or whatever it is that may be trying to drive a wedge between you, if you still take those same points that James just made into those more serious arguments and really listening to one another and be willing to compromise, you'll come out on the right side of it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you just want to be cautious when you approach it. If it's something real strong and heated and you feel in yourself that you're upset, think about whatever it is that you think you want to say. If it was said to you, if you would still say it. And if you wouldn't, then maybe you just kind of reform your words and say it a different way. Because the worst thing that you want is for the message that you're trying to convey to be lost in your delivery. Because you could be giving great points, great ideas, and you just kind of say it with attitude or a smart aleck kind of tone.
Or some nonverbals.
Oh, yeah. And then nobody wants to hear it.
Right,
so
right.
Don't worry about being so much right. Just worry about being kind and making sure that your love shines through whatever it is that you have to say, because that's ultimately what will cover everything anyways. Remember that you're on the same team and that you love each other. So when it's all over with, because you will, if you haven't yet, you will have a disagreement about something. It's inevitable.
Absolutely.
You're not going to agree on every single thing. Two different people from two different walks of life. So anticipate it, but how you handle it, how you bring it all back around, and remember that you're on the same team will really make the difference in the future.
And one last point, because I know you're pretty much wrapping it up, but I want to make sure I mention this too. When things do get heated and they do get where it's not going anywhere, you're not being productive at all.
Right.
It's okay to take a time out.
Absolutely.
Right? It's okay to just say, hey, you know what? Let's table this for a minute or two, maybe an hour or two, and then come back to it. Right? Because sometimes you can say things that you regret. You know, you let the anger or frustration get the best of you, and you don't want to do that either. So take a little time out and come back and see it. Now, that doesn't mean you go to bed angry at each other.
Don't.
Never that.
Make sure you come back to it.
Right? Never that.
You got to stay up all night long. Dozing, and if you want to hold that grudge while you're dozing, then so be it. But come back to it that day. Don't go to sleep angry with one another.
Yes, and take care of that. But sometimes it's okay. Well, a lot of times it's okay to just step away from it for a minute.
Absolutely.
Get your mind a little bit clearer, be able to see both sides of the situation, and then come back and talk together with some compassion and understanding.
So cooler heads can prevail.
Absolutely.
Yep. That's it. So that's what we want to kind of jump on and say real quickly. Just make sure you're out there fighting the right way for one another. Again, we're Elevate Marriages on all social media. Share this with someone that you think that can use it, that can be a benefit to. We are marriage mentors, so that's what we're here for, to help wherever way we can. And we look forward to be able to bring you more content here in the future. We're going to be trying to do a little bit more on YouTube, so share that channel as well.
And remember, we do this on social media, of course, but we also do marriage mentoring outside of social media. So if we can help you in that way, please let us know. Reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to help.
All right. Until further notice, I am James Lee.
And I'm Tasha Lee.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Peace.